Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Some time ago I made a video titled The Ultimate Gear Guide for Diablo Immortal, and this is my second favorite video that I've made, the first one being the Deeds of Valor video. This was 2 months ago, and although the views are not so much, but something major had happened 2 months ago where they changed the itemization system, or basically the combat rating system, the gear system, whatever you call it, in the game. And that was such a great change that I was very excited to share how you can min-max your gears and get the best value out of your gears. The gear system went from being the worst to best. It was mind-blowingly good. And now again they have changed the system. What I'm talking about is this change in the patch notes that has recently came out. So from this note we can see that there are two changes that have been made in the combat rating system. First one is item combat rating will not increase in Paragon levels 880 to 900, 980 to 1000 and 1080 to 1100. Earlier, if you see that in any Inferno difficulty level is of 100 levels. Inferno 1 was 800 to 900, then 900 to 1000, and Inferno 3 is 1000 to 1100. And after 50 levels, your combat rating increase stopped. So everyone at 950, like some time ago, had combat rating 1357 in all of the 8 gears. So their progress stopped. There was nothing much to do for people who do only PvE. They do not engage in PvP like battlegrounds and stuff. And for the audience who did only PvE, they were kind of stuck, and they were stuck for basically 50 levels. 50 levels is basically 5 weeks, because 10 levels each week we get, right? So I can understand why this has now been changed. And now from if you are considering Inferno 2, from 900 to 980, up till 980, the CR in gears will keep on increasing. And I can totally understand, because this is catering to the PvE players who do not like to do PvP, and there are a lot of them. So this is still okay. Although for someone like me who likes to do a lot of PvP, this might not be such a good change, but I totally get this. I totally get with why they have done this, and I am okay with it. It just means more grinding for me, maybe. But they also made one another change, and that is item with more attributes will have a higher combat rating. Now this change is so bad. I cannot even, this is just very bad for the game. Let me explain why. What does this mean is that I have a triple stats rating. What is triple stat? By triple stats I mean 3 attributes. 3-2, because 2 magic. So 3-2 gear, and this has 1430 combat rating. And I also have a double stat gear, and it has 1379 combat rating. So what they are saying is that now if you get a triple stat gear, you are getting more combat rating, and if you are getting a double stat gear, which is you get less combat rating. And this is terrible. It is terrible for casual players, it is terrible for hardcore players, the min-maxers and everyone. Why? Because for an example, earlier what happened was every gear you could get a combat rating of 1357, like before the change, right? Even if it is a triple stat, for example, this is a triple stat, this is 1355, this can be 1357 as well. The difference is, if anyone wants triple stats, they are going to get triple stats. If anyone getting double stats, they get double stat. The combat rating would remain the same. This was really good, because this allowed more flexibility towards your builds. If you want, because double stats usually have more value. For example, if you look at here, 600 strength, 600 vitality, here I'm getting 434 strength only. So less strength means less damage. This system gave us more flexibility. You can have 2 attributes or 3 attributes, and that's why there was more diversity in builds. But now, and you can ask any PvP players, they would prefer 600 strength rather than having 430 strength, or if someone is focused on secondary stats, they would like a gear like this, 600 willpower, which is giving me 60 potency and 60 armor penetration. So this was such a good way to min-max your thing. I have everything in my previous video, but now what they have done is this: they want us to only focus on combat rating. because now if you have triple stat gears, you have more combat rating, and now the system is that you mindlessly grind for combat rating up to 80 levels, and you do not have to think about your attributes, because combat rating is the key once again. And in PvP it does not make sense. It takes out all the fun of min-maxing your gears, just look at these two pants, for example. This one has 600 strength, this one has less strength, this one has more vitality, willpower. On one hand, you are the damage is decreasing, but the combat rating, because of the combat rating, you are forced to take this gear. Now you will say, why I need to think about combat rating in PvP, right? Now if you look at combat rating here, if someone has like I am in I3, right? If someone has 400 combat rating more, they are doing 7% more damage and they are taking 6% less damage from you, and this is a pretty big deal in PvP. And this is at 400. I have checked it, I have removed some gears and everything, and I have found that if this becomes 850, the damage, they are dealing 10% more damage and they are taking 10% less damage. So that's a 20% gap just from combat rating. So in one way you are saying you are increasing your strength. In 2 stat gears your strength will be more, right? So in one way your strength will increase, but since the combat rating, you can see this is almost 100 combat rating, and 100 into 8 is 800. So 800 is almost 9% damage difference. So in one way you'll be increasing your combat rating, you'll be increasing your damage from the 2 stats gear, but on the same hand you'll be losing out 9 to 10% of damage, which is even bigger concern, because this is only 180 damage, right? And that is 10% versus 180. Obviously 10% more damage is really a big number. So my previous video in where I was explaining how to min-max your gear, that was such a good change, and I was so excited because I was not expecting such a good change. And it was really good for min-maxers because it added so much fun, and I was having so much fun in building my gears. Like for example, I was able to get willpower, because which is my focus. I have critical hit chance, and I also have dash invocation, and this is a 950 gear. And I knew that for PvP I didn't have to search for any new gear for the rest of the Paragon level, because combat rating is also high. So I was relaxed, and for PvP I did the best. I have the best gear for my main hand. But now I know that triple stats gear will have significantly higher combat rating, and this min-maxing will not give you anything. All you need to do now is mindlessly grind for gears with triple stat and get as high combat rating as possible. This is a pretty counterproductive itemization system. In no ARPG you will find such a system where you need to keep 2 type of gears. Even if you have the perfect attributes, perfect magic stats, they will be in so much advantageous position than you, just because they mindlessly have grinded for the higher combat rating, and they have more combat rating than you. And this is also bad for newer players, because newer players combat rating is so bad. It is so far behind the older players that because of this they are always at a 10% disadvantage. So having CR affect PvP is a major problem. So this is the problem that we have with the new combat rating system. But what is the solution? I have 2 solutions for this. Firstly, the combat rating system. Yes, you can make it till 980. You can grind for higher combat rating. That is fine. That is good for PvE players. But you don't have to make a triple stat gear with more combat rating. This is a big no. This is not good for anyone. Not for casuals. Not for min-maxers. What they can do is you can have this type of combat rating even in gears with double stats. Just do that, increase combat rating up to 980. That is okay. The second thing that they can do is remove the combat rating effect on PvP. With this, the people who are doing PvP, they do not have to mindlessly keep grinding for 80 levels. That is 80% of any difficulty level for higher combat rating. Because by the time you are 980 or 880, you are already pre-farming for the next level. Like I'm already at Inferno 3, farming for Inferno 3. because the last 20 levels everyone is farming for the next gear level. So because of this new system, you are making everyone just keep grinding. There's no scope for min maxing, no scope for itemization, only mindlessly get the highest combat rating system, on mindlessly get the highest CR, triple stat, and that's it. So instead of becoming fun, it has become a total grind fest, and there's no fun in in just mindlessly getting chasing for higher combat rating, because where is the skill, where is the build diversity with this new system? So that's what I wanted to cover in this video, that this new system is pretty bad, and I thought of updating my the gear guide which I had made previously, but I don't feel like it because I'm not at all excited for this new system, because it is very counterproductive, and it is I won't say it is casual friendly, because this is not even casual friendly. This is just a bad system. That's all for this video. If you have any thoughts and you think that you disagree with my points that I made, let me know in the comments below, and we can have a discussion about it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.